No, we haven't started yet. I was more just.
I was just saying the Nifty. I was basically gonna say that Nifty, the Nuggets have been in the Discord since the jump. So I just want to say that
day one. I remember being in there. I think it was day one.
The Nugs is OG. Y'all can get anything from me. Like y'all were here before everybody. It was a raid because I didn't understand. I was like, why is everybody sending chicken nuggets? It was so many chicken nugget emojis. It was insane.
Nuggets is like my family.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nifty Nuggets Drive-Thru. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel and like this video. If you want to find more information about us, you can follow us on Twitter @NuggetsNifty. And you can also download this episode on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We hope you enjoy the AMA.
I want to give a warm welcome to the Nugget community as well as our guests, Renowned. We're going to start off another awesome event. We bring you the Auracles AMA, hosted by your very own Nifty Nuggets. We have the homie Renowned, who was sharing previously a story of Nugs being a part of his Renowned community from very early on. I was there when we raided one day, so we kind of feel like family. But I'm going to let Renowned tell us a little bit about himself and any previous experience that you had before coming into the NFT space. How you translate that into coming into the NFT space and then forming Auracles would be a great introduction for the community.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, I'm glad to be here. I feel very much at home right now, and I'm glad this is my first legit AMA is with the Nug gang. So, what's up, everybody? You guys can call me John. My name is John. I'm the founder of Renowned, which is a streetwear brand. I kind of explained some of this earlier, but I'll just go over it quickly again. I have a streetwear brand that I've been running for the last 10 years since I was in high school. And, it's starting to become very successful. We're in some of the top stores in the world. We've been featured in Forbes, GQ, Vogue, like you name it, we've been there. And it's just all thanks to hard work and just kind of persevering and pushing through. It's been quite a journey on that side, just, creating something from nothing. I started this brand with $500 and now we're, international. So it feels really good to just be able to create something that has a lasting effect and also is very purposeful and meaningful as well. So it was pretty interesting, in my journey in fashion, I met a whole lot of people. And just a quick backstory about kind of my entry into NFTs. I actually met a good friend of mine about 8 years ago. His name is Steven. You guys might know him as Zapcho. So Steven is the co-founder of Artifact. Artifact was acquired by Nike. It's one of the biggest brands in the space. So me knowing Steven, so I was seeing his journey throughout just, the 8 years that I've known him. Actually, when he came to America just to visit, I gave him his first pancake, which was a big deal to me because he said he's never had a pancake before. So that was pretty dope. Basically, long story short, me and Steven were good friends, and you just follow your homies on Instagram, stuff like that. And I was just seeing his journey. So Steven used to make custom sneakers. So he used to take your sneakers and put like custom designs on them. So that was his business, and he was very successful at it. But then one day he started posting digital sneakers, and I'm like, "Yo, Steven, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Like, who the hell wants to buy a digital sneaker?" And this was about 3 years ago. So I'm like, who the heck wants to buy a digital sneaker? It's insane. So he kept going with it. So he's building like Jordan shoes and like they got rocket ships on them and Thanos and, all types of stuff. Like he's just literally creating all these digital items. And I'm just like, I don't get it. Like you must be losing your mind. Like, once again, who's going to buy digital shoes? And then I see he hits me up 2019. He hits me up. He's like, yo, I'm starting this brand called Artifact. And he sends me like a deck that kind of explains what Artifact is. It's like collectibles, Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh! And, like different hype items, apparel, clothing. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. I still don't really get it, but this is my homie. So I'm like, yo, that's dope. He's like, yo, I want you to be the designer for Artifact. I'm like, okay. Like, once again, I don't know what Artifact is, and I'm just like, you're my homie, I got you. So I designed the first actual apparel collection for Artifact in 2019, and although they never did anything with it, the clothing was used in a deck to go out and get investors. So they led with the sneakers, and they had the clothing in there as additional assets to show investors, which they ended up getting investment. Um, so that's kind of like my entry into NFT. So I was just seeing what he was doing, and then just last year around February, he does a digital sneaker drop with Fuocious. I hate saying the name, but Fuocious, and and he hits me. He's like, "Yo, look at this." He said, and they did. They sold $3.1 million of digital sneakers in like 7 minutes, and
Yeah, it
I'm
was
like,
big.
"What the fuck, huh?"
So I say, yeah, it was big. I'm loving this story. It sounds like you plugged in with the Illuminati. Tell
Man,
us more.
almost, man. Look, whoever want to join, just you got to make a blood oath. But look, we in there. You got to cut the chicken nugget in half, take the skin off. We can get y'all in there,
I
you know.
feel you. We're
But no,
about to do it.
you know what it is though. It's just it was just in the fashion scene. I was building up and building up, and like I said, this was my homie before anything. I didn't, before an Artifact, I was paying this dude $10. He used to run an Instagram page, and I used to pay him $10 to post my brand on the Instagram page. Like, that's how we started our relationship. Now
Dope.
he's like a multi-million-dollar mogul, right? And Nike employee. So I'm like, that's
Did
pretty
he, do
crazy.
you know? Do you know if you can even share? Because it might be private. But do you know if when he sold to Nike, if he kept any ownership whatsoever?
I'm not sure about that,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure Nike probably took a majority stake. If I was
No,
Nike,
they
that's what I
wouldn't
would.
buy it unless they get a majority stake. They
Yeah.
probably wouldn't buy it unless you let them completely buy you out, which is why I'm curious if they let you, if someone can be smart enough to still keep a percentage ownership, but knowing Nike, it's like, nah, man, you got to come up off it.
No, it's Nike. Yeah, I think they got acquired like 100%. But you know what? I think they kept the creative team on, obviously, to continue the native crypto NFT way. Um, but it's really interesting how they went about that. Honestly, I would say it wouldn't have been my move, but I do understand it, and I do understand how big that is for the space. So, kudos to them. What was really funny? When I was designing the apparel, my homie was like, "You know what? And I was like, bro, I don't want any money for doing this." He was like, "Don't worry, we're gonna give you a percentage." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah, like 1 or 5%." I'm like, "Sure, whatever, bro. You the homie, I got you." You know how much that would have been worth?
Oh my God, that would have been a fortune.
He's like between 1 and 5%, and I'm like, bro, it's cool, bro. I just want you to succeed. Literally, that's what I was saying, because I was like, I don't want any money. I'll design the clothes. If I would have got 1%, your boy would have been loaded.
Lit. You would have been lit. All
But
right.
it's cool, though. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, so you have the dope story of how you get introduced to the NFT space. Let us know how you then come to want to come in for yourself into the NFT space and add value in your own way with your own experience and expertise.
For sure. So for me, it's always been about, how can I provide value or provide, purpose. I never want to do anything just to do it. Like, I don't want to do things just because I can or because I know it will make money. Everything has a purpose or meaning behind it. So, shortly after Artifacts had that sale, which was February of 2021, I was actually meeting up with a good friend of mine, Chris Brown. I was dropping some clothes off for him, just typical, like, here's some clothes. And I was explaining the clothes to him, like what this is about and kind of the story behind the clothing. And he really liked the story. And then I turned to him and I'm like, "Yo, bro, uh, what are you into these days? Like, what are you working on?" And he was like, "Man, I'm really like the idea of NFTs." I'm like, "What? You know about NFTs?" So we started geeking out about NFTs, and then long story short, we just were showing it. I was showing him artifact sneakers. He was showing me some stuff that other people were doing. And we were kind of geeking out about the idea of like NFTs. And as I was leaving his house, he said, yo, man, we should work on an NFT collection together, about some of the stuff you were just talking about, like the storytelling and like fashion. And I'm like, that ain't a bad idea, my brother. So,
Listen, yeah.
um, exactly. So that was March of 2021 is when I first kind of like laid the foundations just verbally of what this project would be. So that's my entry point, March 2021, where I was like, okay, I figured out what I want to do, who I want to do it with. Now it's time to execute.
Okay. Where do we actually start?
Right. So
Besides the idea with Chris Brown, and you've already seen the success of your friend in the space, with the drop with Ferocious, how does that ideation start to play out of what you're actually going to?
for sure. So it's actually quite similar to how I would create a collection with my clothing. So it just started off with a general idea of like, okay, what will this NFT be about? And me and Chris decided it was a cool idea to focus around, like our culture. So we decided to make an NFT around the first Black Samurai, which also there's a Netflix show about the first Black Samurai also. But basically, we made this idea like, okay, this character we're going to create is going to be centered around the first Black Samurai. And what we want to do is we want to create a superhero. Not only will this just be like how everyone does their PFPs, right? You got all your animals, you got your nugs, you got everybody doing their thing. We decided to make our PFP character someone that I'm getting a little feedback. I don't know if you can hear that. Where was I at? Oh, basically, we wanted to create like something a little more meaningful with the character as well, and not just like animal that we liked or anything. We just wanted to, like I said, I always want to make things that are purposeful. So we decided to make a superhero.
You say your name is John, right?
Yeah, John.
John, I think we broke the internet, man.
Who broke the internet? Let's get it.
You over here talking about Artifact and Chris Brown. We broke the internet. That's what we did. We broke this.
Let's get it. I feel like Kim Kardashian. No, I'm just playing.
All right, so keep telling me. So you come up with the idea of the Black Samurai, and
okay, for sure. So that's the theme. So the character himself, his name is Oracle, and then he has a companion, and her name is Aura. And we're building out, like, think of us as like creating what I would consider like Marvel, right? So you have your big company, and then you have your offshoots, your umbrellas underneath, right? So it's like, the Oracles is like our main venture, right? But then we have Aura, who has her story. We have the actual Oracle, which is his story. And then, of course, we're going to continue building and doing character development. But, it was really cool. I don't know if you all heard me. The last part I was saying was that, like, we wanted to make sure that this character, was really like a representation of Web3. Web3 is a new space for all of us. So, I wanted to make sure that like everyone feels welcome here, no matter who you are, where you're from, everyone should feel welcome in the space. And, sometimes it doesn't feel like that. So I wanted to make something that is definitely like representative of like my culture. And that's something Chris was believing in as well. So Oracles is born. Chris came up with the name. He actually came up with the name for Oracle and Aura. So he's like, super involved with coming up with these ideas. So, that's when the idea was born. And then basically we started to create, clothing. What does the clothing look like? What does what does the character do? Like, just building out all these things. And it's been quite a journey. It's actually taken quite a while, just because, you want to take your time with things. You don't want to rush it. You want to see also how the market's doing. The market sucks right now, as we all know. So we actually may push our project back just a little, just to adjust for the market. But yeah, we're creating 3D art. You can see some of it on our Instagram and Twitter, and also in our Discord under the sneak peeks. But yeah, I mean, some of the cool things about the actual project itself is that everyone who mints, no matter what, gets clothes engineered by Renown. So you're getting the top of the line, like the good stuff. So everyone who mints gets clothing. So think of like, how the Bored Ape Yacht Club, they have their hoodie that all the homies rock. So everyone who mints will get clothing in their size no matter where you live, no matter what. That's the first thing we're doing. And then secondly, some of the characters will be wearing special edition clothing that me and Chris came up with together. And if your character is wearing, let's say, red hat, you're able to redeem red hat in real life as one of the utilities as well. And the only way to get that particular collaboration item is through the NFT. Like you can't buy it from my website, you can't go to the store and get it. But this is just some of the perks that we're offering for people who mint our NFT.
So, all right. So it sounds like is there lore also associated with the oracles, the Oracle and Aura? Are you guys going to create like a lore based story around it as well?
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's one of the first things we're doing right out the gate. Honestly, we're already working on it. Because like I said, like think about this like Batman. Batman came out in 1939. Like think of this as like when Batman first came out. But just different abilities, different worlds. He's a time traveler, so he can go past, present, and future. He's also somewhat educational, but not too much where you're like, yo, I don't want to fucking learn a lesson right now. I just want to watch somebody's ass get whooped. You know what I'm saying? Like but the first Black Samurai is a real thing, but we'll make it cool. It's not about trying to be like a PSA or like a classroom type of vibe, but we will touch on real things, and then also we'll touch on fantasy as well. For the future, who knows what that look like? Like maybe it's a cyberpunk type of vibe, or we're building out this kind of world right now where basically the oracles is going to become like, in my opinion and in my hopes, like super important intellectual property.
Now, I love that you got Chris Brown on it, but you're gonna have your work cut out for yourself because the space is not happy right now with celebrities coming into the space. They theming it at Mayweather. They say Mayweather rug like 13 projects. I swear. I don't know if it's true, but I was reading one of the more prominent NFT crypto Twitter accounts, and they were like showing like evidence of Mayweather and some type of rug project, and I was like, wow. And we know Johnny Depp came in, that didn't do so well, and I think there's probably one or other two that are escaping my mind right now. So you're gonna have your work cut out for yourself, but you got some nugs supporting, so that should help out.
Absolutely.
And shout out to Cloud. I think he probably was the one that first brought your project to our attention all the way back in November. So big shout out to the homie Cloud, always keeping the Nuggets ahead of the curve.
Shout out to actually, real quick, can I get into that celebrity thing if you don't mind?
Yeah. Let's do it.
I would love to get into. I want to get into the nitty gritty because this is our biggest question we always receive is like, okay, cool, Chris Brown, like, cool, but come on, bro, we know celebrities, you know how they are.
Yeah.
So I totally get it. Like I said, I've been in the space just observing for the last year. I've seen Floyd Mayweather's. I've seen the ASAP Rockies. I've seen, literally everyone you can think of has dropped something and they just slap their name on it and they think just because they're a celebrity that they'll be able to, win people over. Now, it does work sometimes, but then afterwards there's no follow through. There's like, okay, we sold all our NFTs. What now? And they just disappear. Rich the Kid being probably the worst one.
I just heard Tekashi run too. Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, yes. Because you got to think there. Remember, I always go back to this. What is the purpose? Like, why is Floyd Mayweather in NFT space? Why is Tekashi 6ix9ine in the NFT space? Like, what is the purpose? They come out with projects that have no purpose. There's no real utility. There's no connection to the space. So let me connect it for you. And the reason why I decided to work with Chris. First of all, obviously Chris is my friend. Let's get that out the way. That's the homie. But secondly, a lot of people don't know this. Outside of music and dancing, Chris is a graffiti artist and a painter.
No, I know. He's like an all around artist. He's an actor, a painter, graffiti. like everything. Like the dude is just
everything.
loses creativity. I get it.
It's insane. So I've released just a little bit of this information, but Chris came up with the traits for Oracle. Like we sat down at his house and I brought over pencils and markers. It felt like a play date. And he literally was drawing out the characters, like off the top of his head. And I'm just like, first of all, I was blown away. Like,
Yeah,
dude, well,
he.
how do you have this much talent in your body?
Yeah,
Like,
no, that dude is different. He's different. Since a kid, I
and
realized why he's different.
facts. People don't know he's hosted his own galleries. He's had Art Basel exhibitions. He's painted on Porsches and sold them for $300,000. Like he's a real artist, and that's what the space really celebrates is real artists. Well, I hope and ideally that's what the space should celebrate.
Yeah,
Ideally what Web3 stands for is like creatives and real artists. So we're not even touching anything about music, dance. It's literally about art. And he created the art. So that's one. So, it's always about the involvement. How involved is this celebrity and how can you ensure that they will continue to be involved? So one, he created a lot of the art and basically the traits for a lot of the characters that we do have. Part two, for the clothing, he's the actual model in the lookbook. He was like, yo, I want to be at the forefront of this. Like, I want them to see my face and see me in the clothes. So he modeled all the clothes himself. Part three, he's so as we transition from his sketches to 3D, he's been so like we're on group chats with all the 3D artists, and it's pretty funny. He's like, yo, send me all the traits. I just want to make sure everything looks good. Keep in mind, we're making 5,555 characters. I'm like, Chris, you want me to send you 5,000 characters? He said, yes. Because what he's doing is he's going through every picture and he's like, you know what? This one needs a belt loop. You know what? This one can use some glasses. You know what? I don't like the colors of this one. Can you
yo,
change it?
John, let me just tell you right now. I'm sorry to interrupt, but if
Yeah.
Breezy does any AMAs with you, you gotta bring him back to the nuts.
The nuts.
I don't think he's gonna do any AMAs. Get it, Breezy's A-list celebrity, probably doesn't have the time to do it. Plus, I know he's a real creative, so I'm sure he spends a lot of time creating stuff. But if he does an AMA having to do with the Oracle, you got to do part two in the Nugs with Chris Breezy.
Well, you know what? I told him we have to do something, and I think it's going to be a Twitter space. So I would love to have nugs in attendance.
Well,
We'll
we
have some
will be
nugs on
there.
stage too. Yeah,
We
yeah,
will
for
be
sure.
there to support. If you want me to host, I'll be there to host. I'm gonna be wearing my Nifty Nuggets banner, but we would love for you to do one with us too. But yeah, keep going. Apologies.
Facts. And just speaking of like stuff like the Discord, he hopped in the Discord. Well, he has his own profile. He hopped in there on his own and was like, hey guys, what do you think some of the utilities should be? And I'm not telling him to say these things. I'm not telling him to do it like, you know what I'm saying? He's doing it on his own. He's literally very interested in the art side of this. I will say he's not so technical. Like he's not like, okay, L2 blockchain, token 720. You know what I'm saying? He's not like that, but he understands the art and he understands what Web3 means for the artist. So that's kind of his plight, and I appreciate that. Like Floyd Mayweather couldn't tell you probably what cryptocurrency they're going to take for his project. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just here's my name, I'll post it on Twitter, that's it, or post it on Instagram, I'm out. Chris is like, as soon as I showed him the character, he was like, yo, I want to post this right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's that effort. It's the it's sometimes a struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not used to collaborating like this. It's sometimes a struggle because he's like, yo, it has to be this level, like this, all the time. And I'm like, dang, man, like I just made clothes. Like this character thing is new. This is your world, Chris. Like clothing, I got it. Characters, whew, it's different. So it's actually been a little bit of a struggle for me to keep up with him. So y'all should be asking me what's my involvement in the space.
Nah, man, I know you're the brains behind it. I remember when I was in your server, you were very involved with speaking to the community and keeping tapped in. I'm sure as much as Breezy might be into the NFT space, I doubt he's on crypto Twitter and he's and I definitely doubt he's in Discords to really get the vibe of what's going on around here.
He's in Discord, but it's very casual. It's very like hop in, answer a couple questions. Most people who are asking him questions are kind of on some like fan type of vibes. Like
Yeah,
it's not
they're
like
not asking
oh, the Zuki. It's not like.
about.
but he understands, like I said, just from a creative art perspective, and understanding also the purpose of how big this project can be in terms of like representation for people, for culture. He understands that as well. So there's an understanding between us. Obviously, I handle more of like the crypto hard, like back end, like the hard stuff, like the technical stuff. But on the art and everything, he's there 100%.
All right, so let's tie it back into the oracles because this is what's the most important thing here. So you're going to come out with, I believe the supply is 5,555, right?
Correct.
So this is 5,555. Just so you know, right on top of the stage, you see where it says Auracles AMA.
Yeah.
You can post any sneak peeks right there. Usually gets the community really amped up, really excited. Feel free. Any links or anything that you'd like to post, as long as it's not going to empty out our wallets, feel free.
Yeah, trying to hack
but
the whole.
now, so it's 55-55 black samurais. I'm guessing male and females, right?
Right.
And
The
the males
female
are.
character, go ahead.
Say it again.
I was gonna say the woman character, she's the most rare. So think of her like getting like the golden chicken nugget. You know what I'm saying? Like she's the one. So we only are making about 400 of her, and the rest
Okay.
will be like the male character. So if you get
All right.
Aura, you won.
So you have 400 auras, the female
Mhm.
character, and
Right.
5,155 oracles, the male character.
Right. That's a rough estimate, but yes, it's going to be skewed very in favor of Aura.
Nice. Now, I see one of the sneak peeks. It's a very, very sexy, voluptuous woman. Yeah,
I'm
waifu
crazy for
vibes
that.
over here. So is this one of the like one of the PFPs that I'm seeing? Let me show you which one I'm seeing. See if
And
I
I
can
was trying
copy.
to figure out how to add the sneak peeks. I'm not finding that like where I can add it in there.
If you're in the do you see the AMA chat?
Yes. So where am I looking at, on the left side with the channels?
Yeah, right on top of the stage, you should see Auracles AMA with like a pin on it. Right in there.
Perfect. Oh yeah. Let me add some stuff in here. I got you. I see
So
you.
let me show you
Go ahead.
this one that I'm looking at, which looks fire. Copy image. Hopefully it works this time. Wow, why does it keep? It's not letting me do it.
Let me try. I'm gonna try it as well. Yes. Aura is bad. I'm sure that's the one you're trying to share is Aura.
Yeah.
Dang, I gotta go find it now too. Let's see. Sorry for the background.
Yeah, no worries.
Um, yeah, that's it. Player one just posted it up in there. I posted this article too, real quick.
Yeah, so that's one of the PFPs, right? The one player one just
Yeah,
posted.
exactly. So
Okay.
like someone's gonna receive that particular one, which
I
we
like
think
it.
is
I, I'd like to see a couple of the oracles if you have any of those
yeah, for
available.
sure. Let me share one to the group. I gotta go back in my chat a little bit. This is not the pose we selected, but just so you can see the character. So that's Mr. Oracle. We're working on all kinds of stuff. We got like baseball. It is your typical fashion where it's like you got a plethora of different styles and different types of like clothing characters that we're playing with. So there's a lot of different things we're working on. Um, Chris Brown concert before COVID. Look at you. You go, girl. But we're working on some stuff. Here's some rough drafts that I'm sending in as well. All 3D. We pull from a lot of different sources. Oh yeah, that's the sketch I was looking for actually. Um, that's the original sketch. We had a sketch artist do Aura and Oracle first to kind of like really understand what we want the character to look like, and then we took the sketches to create the final version. You know, um, we got a lot of
Dope,
good stuff.
dope. So the what I got so far from you on the utility is, besides the dope art, the utility is your holders will be able to claim for free, I'm guessing, um, the merch that their actual PFP is wearing, or something similar. Like you mentioned, like if they had a red hat, they would be able to claim a red hat from
Sure.
this particular merch.
Well, so we're going to release the information of what the actual collaboration is. So the characters have all kinds of clothes on.
Okay.
But there's only certain characters that have special clothes. So, for example, the Yusake shirt, the one that's actually also the kimono that Aura has on, is one of their rare pieces. So, if your character, for example, let's say you get this exact Aura, right? You're able to get that kimono made by us, literally in real life, claim for free. But even before that, let's say your character just has on like a baseball uniform, which is not, super rare or anything. But let's say you get a baseball uniform, you're still able to redeem the Oracle like uniform shirt, which is like our community member shirt immediately, like no matter what, as long as you mint.
Is this for the this ability to claim merch? Is this for the whole collection?
Uh, what do you mean? Can you explain it?
So every single PFP, let's say you have 5,555 NFTs. Let's
Right.
say you have 5,555 owners. Each owner will be able to claim one merch from something being worn on their PFP.
Not that not being worn on the PFP, but like there's like we're creating a base shirt. Like let's just say a Oracle shirt with our logo on it or something. Just to throw out an idea, an Oracle shirt with our logo. Everyone who mints is one per wallet though. Everyone who mints will be able to receive a shirt. So, like you said, if there's 5,555 owners, every single person will receive a shirt. We're allowing our people to mint up to two, though. So it's one per wallet. So I'm sure that number will dwindle a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah,
but
yeah.
if it just works out to be that way, then fine. Every person.
Now, feel free to share with us any other utility or anything in your roadmap that we haven't touched on.
For sure. So, roadmap is an interesting thing these days. We definitely are on the side of providing utility. We don't want to overpromise anything, but having Chris a part of this, there's a lot of different things that we discussed, including stuff in collaboration with what he's doing. So think like tour merch, think actual visuals for like a stage concert, think we've already discussed this idea of us making actual oracles for a lot of his friends. He said, "Look, make one for Drake. I'll send it to him. Hopefully he'll post it up. Getting the marketing, getting the IP out there. We're making custom katanas as well since we have the samurai theme. We're making custom katanas for some of our mentors as well. Those are going to be for our friends list community. Um, so it's just stuff like that we're working on. And, we're talking with video game companies to incorporate some of the fashion in there, the Oracle fashion. We're talking to different, media companies as well on how to collaborate. And, basically, we're really just trying to build this IP. We're really just trying to turn this into your next Batman. Like, why can't we be,
So you haven't released a roadmap, fair enough?
No, not like a step quarter one, quarter two, quarter three. Nah, not like that. No.
All right.
But we do have a roadmap section in our Discord.
You do have a roadmap section. Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like briefly explaining what I just explained, but like not like here's what happens first. Here's what happened. You know what I'm saying? The first thing that happens is you get your t-shirt. We're all a part of the community. We're vibing out, But that turns into like different in real life events, which I do anyway with my brand. So it's like a combination of what Chris is already working on and stuff that I'm already doing. It's just now incorporating the Oracle community within that.
Nice. Now, is there any further utility, like as a deliverable, that you've shared with the community that we haven't touched on? Because I think you're saying that there's like a wide it's like a wide possibility of things that you guys can do with the IP of the oracles. What I want to hammer down on is, what have you already said to the community? This is what we're going to deliver.
Oh, the fashion part is the first thing, because that's the part that I know that I like. That's my bread and butter. Like I could do that with my eyes closed. Like that's where I live. Like the concept of everyone getting our merch instead of because the traditional way is that when you buy an NFT or join a community, a lot of these NFT projects make you still purchase the merch. Like you literally still have to buy the hoodie or whatever just to be a part of that. You have access to it because you're a holder, but you have to buy it. So we wanted to eliminate that step and just, we are appreciative that you even minted with us. So, here's a, token of our appreciation. Here's something that's engineered by like one of the upcoming, in my opinion, one of the emerging streetwear brands. So those are the things that are public that we're already saying, like, this is how that works. This is, the process behind that. And then even furthermore is with the actual collaboration clothing. Like I said, if your character has one of the rare pieces, which we'll have like a index on the website that shows you like this red hoodie. If your character has this red hoodie, come on down to Renown, and the token gated side, just let's verify that you have the correct character with that clothing on, and boom, you're able to receive that as well, which is just building on the idea of how streetwear and fashion is perceived these days anyway. Like getting a pair of Jordans is like the hardest thing to do these days, but we're really building that energy within the community, so it's like it feels very inclusive. And we want people to feel like they're a part of it. So that's why everyone gets clothes, but some people will receive, more of the special edition clothing if your character is selected.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is the utility, the only utility that you've publicized so far for the oracles.
Right. Like very blatantly, that is the utility that comes first. So if you had to like make a timeline, like receiving your merch is the first thing we're going to be able to do.
Nice. I'm digging the art. I think the utility is cool. I've thought that myself. I've said to myself several times, like, why would I have to buy the merch? There's a part of me that's like, oh, I get it, you got size, but there's a part of me that's also like, I think you should kind of airdrop your holders merch for free. Well, not airdrop, you know what I mean? Get them something for free, and then maybe do an extended line where, hey, if you want more, you guys can buy.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, and even furthermore, your typical utilities, including like access to future drops and access to renowned merch, discounts on renowned merch, like as an Oracle holder, like all that stuff is included. But it's not necessarily rolled out in our Discord roadmap yet. Like we basically we have a back end document that has everything that we're doing, but we just want to make sure 100% that we're able to deliver on everything that we say. We're not trying to be out here. A lot of these projects say a lot, but they don't do a lot. So we're just trying to make sure that we keep our word.
It's an issue we're working our way through in the space. I'm going to start touching on some of some of the Nuggets questions. Can some of us newer nugs get an invite to the closed Discord? I think one was already shared. If people scroll up, you should be able to see it in the AMA. The next question is, where are you guys based?
Los Angeles. Me and Chris are both in LA.
Are you born and raised there?
I'm born in Cleveland, Ohio, and I moved out here about 6 years ago.
Nice. Next question is, do you have any idea for the minting structure, regardless of the current market state?
Minting structure meaning like how we release the NFT.
I think this question might want to touch on several things: price, date, and potentially like how are you dividing? Like, are you doing whitelist? Are you doing public? Are you doing Dutch auction? Like, how are you doing
I
that?
understand. So it's going to be a fixed cost. The price we're still nailing down. I don't want to say anything too soon, but I will release the price next week. We're still toying with some things because this market is really, really terrible right now.
Yeah, it's brutal.
In terms, it's like a bloodbath, man. And even with dates, so in my mind, it was a May 25th mint date, but I'm thinking like that's just too soon, man. In terms of like the market, it has nothing to really do with anything else, but like, I'm sure the project will do well. Like I said, you can't guarantee anything, but I want to make sure that it does well with everyone, like, secondary as well. I don't want it to be just something where it's just like, if it fizzles out just because the money is not being, circulated as it has been in the past. So we want to make sure that, we're on the same page as the people who want to mint our project. In terms of whitelist, we use the term friends list. That's our thing. We're going to do friends list for 1,500 people. And remember, each person is allotted 2 per wallet. If they decide to max it out at 2, you can get 1 or however you want to do it. But 1,500 people will be for the friends list. And, you're able to mint 2. We're going to drop it on ETH. Also, if you go to our Discord, we dropped a preview of the website. We haven't released the website publicly, but if you're in the Discord, which there is a link, you're able to see that the website is fully up. It's the oracles.xyz. And you'll actually see videos of me. We're all completely doxxed. You know who we are. You can pull up at the warehouse if you have a problem with us. Fully doxxed. And yeah, we're dropping the actual NFT on our website. So we're building our own smart contract.
So 1,500 friends list, and then I'm guessing the other 3K is going towards your public, right?
Right. Also, we have an initiative with we partnered up with a company called Black NFT Art, and they're just they're a company or organization, I would say, that helps uplift, encourage, and support Black NFT artists. So we partnered up with them to give away 111 free NFTs, not mint like a friends list, 100% free. So what we wanted, our idea behind that was to offer instant value to people who haven't been in the space. So these NFTs are reserved for people who have not minted an NFT before. So we're going to onboard 111 people, set them up with their MetaMask, get them all going, and then airdrop them an NFT. And then they're handling the logistics behind who exactly is selected for that free NFT.
They're going to have to teach them how to navigate OpenSea and MetaMask so they don't get scammed.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they be signing up for some link and then that Oracle is gone.
Make sure to tell them, like, listen, y'all can't just onboard them. Y'all got to teach them a little bit about how to use OpenSea, royalties, and stuff like that so they don't get wrecked out here.
For sure, 100%. And that's the point. We want to onboard. We believe in the space, so onboarding is super important. And, offering that value up front is extremely important because, obviously this is not like, obviously we all look at NFTs as kind of like investments, even though it's technically you're buying art. But even if someone wanted to, they could sell their NFT instantly if that's what they chose to do and get instant value from it, which is turned into, Ethereum. So, we're creating instant value for these people who are entering the space, which is really cool to me. Like if someone was like, yo, here's a free NFT, here's your wallet, let's set you up, I would have been way more amped to get into it,
So let me try to understand what you're saying. So are you saying sell my PXNs and just ape into Oracle? Is that what you're saying?
Listen, this is not financial advice, my brother. But
I had to test you, man. I had to test you real quick. All right, next. What were you gonna say? Apologies. I sound like I interrupted you.
no, it's just like we really want this to be purposeful. Even Chris is like, yo, we not greedy people. We don't need to be greedy. This is not about make as much as possible to dip. Like, we're gonna build the company. Like, this is a company. Chris is my partner. I didn't pay Chris to be a part of this. He's literally my business partner. So that's the interesting part of how this is working. It's super dope, and this is something that Web 2 honestly needed, if we want to be honest. So,
Yo, so
you know,
buying nugs is the next question.
say it again.
When you and Breezy buying nugs is the next question.
Listen, the nut, I'm with it. I think Cloud just told me that you all are working on getting onto ETH or something like that, or L1 or something like that. Right?
We're harassing the founder that we want out. We're about to go on strike unless he takes us to ETH L1. We on IMX right now.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
want to buy before we go on L1 because there's a common theme in nugs that if we go, we could be wrong, right? Not financial advice, but the common assessment is, barring this brutal market that we're in, that if we're in on Opensea, our floor is somewhere really between 5 to 10 ETH instead of what it is on IMX, with not even 5% of the wallets transacting, not even 3% of the volume. See, we'd probably be 5 to 10 ETH on
Damn. But that's what I'm saying. The Nugs got the community. Like, I knew it when y'all jumped in my thing. I'm like, oh, y'all come in here deep. Y'all mobbing out. Like, this is different.
And big shout out to Cloud again. I understand Cloud is also the one who brought you to the AMA. Cloud, thank you again, sir. He's in my DMs flaunting it.
Shout out Cloud. I wish
Yo,
there were some of the OG members. I think Jay Blake, I remember being one of the OGs in there. There was a few folks that I was talking to, like OGs. Like, yeah, shout out to y'all. Y'all were seriously the first community to embrace me, and I had no teasers, I had no story, no Chris Brown. It was just renowned, and that was it. And
you wouldn't be the first big founder in here. We've got a couple of them as well as influencers. So just, man, not financial advice, but think about it. Say, hey, do I want to be a part of the Nugs? Bring Breezy in. We get something big going on in here.
man, look, I'm trying to be a nug for life. Look, I already got. Did you all see my honorary nug picture?
Yeah, Cloud just sent it to me. It was fire too. I want it.
I'm about to share. Like, I'm an honorary nug, y'all.
All right, I just sent you a friend request because if I see Breezy doing an AMA, and we don't get one right after, I'm blowing up your DM. I'm blowing up your DMs.
Well, let me not accept that friend request.
This ain't right. We supposed to stick together. Yeah, I'm going ham.
I got you. I appreciate you. I just accepted you.
I'm going ham for the Nuggets. All right, our next question is, somebody wrote Chris Brown the singer. Yeah, Chris Brown the singer. Art is insane. Who is the artist? Founder or hired?
So we found three 3D artists. Actually, and they're based out of Africa. We found three 3D artists who were just lit, super dope. They do stuff on their own within the NFT space. They have their own one of one project. And then I decided to, like, we made a team of it. I'm like, yo, I'm working on this project. Like, low key, I kept it secretive because I found that, like, if I mentioned Chris's name, the price would triple exponentially. Like, it would just go nuts. I remember telling this one guy I wanted to do like an animation, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm working on this Chris Brown project. He said, okay, one animation, $30,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, are you a studio? But it's integrity though. So I hit up people like, yo, I'm working on a cool project, and I explained the project. I didn't mention Chris, and a lot of people like, yo, this is just dope. We vibe with this. And then, as we start working, I'm like, yo, this is a project with Chris Brown. I hope that's okay. People are like, oh my God, I never thought I would work with him. Like, it's so crazy. So it's love. So we just found people on Twitter, and then referrals. I had friends who were like, yo, this is a dope artist, you should work with them. And that's how it went.
Yeah, man. If you negotiate and you don't want to tell people you got Chris Brown on the team, they're gonna bilk you.
Oh my goodness. When the dude's at 30K, I learned my lesson.
All right. Next question. How many times can you request for the item of clothing? Say if someone sold the NFT after redeeming the clothing, could the next person redeem it? Also, how far do you ship?
So the first person who redeems it, that is the person. So what makes it interesting is that to redeem the clothing, you have to hold the NFT for at least the duration until you're actually like able to like receive the product. So we're thinking that that's going to be a 2 to 3 week time frame, and that's max because honestly, it's going to take me a few days to make the items. But you like to give a nice buffer for people who are in different regions, and that answers the second question too. Of you said how far do we ship? We international, baby, yeah.
Global.
We have so Renowned itself is in stores in Asia. We're in stores in Korea, Japan, China. We're in stores in London. So we have a pretty far reach of where we already ship anyway. So unless you live in some like a really obscure place like the North Pole, I don't think it'll be a problem. Obviously, shipping costs a little more, but it is what it is.
Have you gone the route with your clothing brand of setting up your own brick and mortar yet?
I haven't. That is quite a responsibility. I can't lie, and we're kind of crushing it on the digital side. It's something that I thought about, but when I started to think about it, COVID hit, and I'm like, nah,
You guys
let's.
always do it. Like all these clothing brands, when they get like real big off just selling online, they eventually just go, all right, let's set up a store. Usually in some place where you're gonna get a lot of visibility.
Facts, but that's also something that I've been thinking about in terms of like, how to keep this Oracle thing very attractive and very like, if I have my own location, that's obviously the place for meetups, in real life events, Chris Brown listening parties, whoever listening parties, because the Oracle family is going to expand. Like I said, we're going to be making Oracles for some of the top celebs that are Chris Brown's friends, like just simply like that. So it's like, who knows what can happen, like the world is our oyster, as they say.
Shout out
But
to
so it's just something that I thought about, but not like so before Oracles. I just randomly like sure that would be a cool thing, but never anything actionable.
shout out to Elstad for making that honorary nug for the homie John from Renown.
Appreciate it.
I'll go into our next one. Will your collection be 3D? Because 2D sketch of Aura from Oracle's Twitter is dope.
You know what? So me and Chris have been brainstorming, and this is some major like insider info. But we think our next collection after Oracles is going to be illustrations because we love the illustrations too. Like they're equally or maybe even a little more fire than the 3D. So we're thinking about our next collection actually being illustrations of our next series, our next mission, so to speak.
You guys can go big, man. You guys have the opportunity to take the IP like the official like Chris Brown IP where he can then turn that into a million things, a game, a cartoon. He can hook up people with like early listening sessions and stuff like that, which I'm sure your holders would love. I mean, the sky's the limit with what you guys got going on, especially since he's a successful artist and business person and you're a successful clothing manufacturer. And I guess, do you design your own clothes too?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have an in-house team that I work with just for the clothing part of it, including like, the factories that I work with and, graphic designers, actual technical clothing designers as well.
Uh,
So yeah, we got a whole little team over here too.
The French brand, I think it's French brand Black.
Mhm.
They did their NFT recently. It hasn't revealed the AMA here. I'm getting a lot of vibes that I got from Black with you, and what you can do, especially for your holders with this particular NFT and IP. Given that you guys continue to make it grow, confident that you will. I'm sure the Nuggets will hold you to it, as well as the rest of
Absolutely.
y'all.
The Nugs. I actually did a part. My first partnership was with Black. It was a Twitter giveaway.
Yeah, Black is
Um,
dope.
yeah, they're pretty dope.
I mess with Black. I like Julian. He's a visionary. Um,
Fire.
what would hinder next question is what would hinder a person to send their second NFT to another wallet?
What would hinder a person to send their second NFT to another wallet?
I think they're talking about like for claiming merch.
Like so you're saying like so let's say you purchase two.
Yeah. Can I claim two, or are you gonna say no because one wallet is holding two? I can.
Right. So it's per wallet address. So when you purchase two at the same time, those two will be transferred to that particular wallet. Now you can do whatever you want. You can transfer them out wherever it goes, but we have an internal process. So basically the merch will be behind a token gated website, which you're going to have to prove your ownership of that NFT, that it's in your wallet. So if you have two in there, you're able to redeem one. If you have one in there, you can redeem one.
That's what
Um,
they're saying. So they're saying, what if they just send it out to another so that they can redeem two?
Um, that would be kind of fucked up, man.
Bro,
Um,
this is how you save yourself that headache. Just give it to them. Just let them, because that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna split it up between their wallets. Just let them claim per NFT, and you release yourself of that headache.
100%.
You
And
don't
I
have
was also thinking. Oh, go
some
ahead.
advice.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say you don't have to, but some advice.
For sure, because some people are going to do that. Just like also with us giving away 111 free NFTs, there's going to be some people who are like, I've never had an NFT before. What's a MetaMask? I'm sure we're going to have people like that too, who are going
Yep.
to pop in. Obviously, already know what's going on, but if that's what you want to do, that's your prerogative. It's very hard to stop something like that. Um, hopefully a lot of people will be honest just for the sake of the project because you think, the more t-shirts I got to ship, the more money it costs out of the whole project total. So, it's up to you as a person, but
Some people do. Some people are honest about it, and if you say, "Hey, we're only doing it per wallet," they'll just do it per wallet. More than not, people are going to split between wallets. Just keeping it a buck. Um, uh, how long? All right. Question: how long after mint will it take to ship? Are the items ready?
So we're waiting on our totals, so we're going to see how people react. So it's like, are we making 5,555 shirts or is it 2,000 because, people are honest and
Yep. Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so
You
we're just seeing what's up to get our final numbers. But the way our production works is I can turn around an item like that in a week in America.
got it.
So it's definitely possible to get it fairly quickly, especially if you're in the United States. You'll probably obviously get it first just because that's where we ship from. We have a warehouse here in downtown LA. But then obviously international, it's going to take a little bit longer just due to distance, but we're able to do that.
Next question: how will you use funds raised from NFT Mint? Any shares in renowned merch brand for holders?
When you say shares, how would you describe that?
Bro, they
Any
trying to say if you're gonna share a percentage of your company with the holders. What they trying to say?
uh, Well, technically, this isn't a Renowned project. This is an Oracle project. The Oracles is a new company. Renowned is just engineering the actual garments. So think of Renowned as like the official apparel partner of Oracle. So that's how I would phrase that. We are working on IP though, in terms of Oracles. Like, we want you to be able to use your PFP and be able to make money with it up to a certain amount. Um, so that's something that we're toying with as well. But In terms of shares for Renown, yeah, that's not how that one works.
Yeah, it says he said you're a dub, is what he said. Um, uh, if you'd like to share, like, how will your Oracle's company be using mint proceeds as far as investing in further development of Oracles?
For sure. So, as we move further into the Oracle's universe, we're going to start building out these different ideas. One of our initial ideas also is to, because if you think about it, we're in essence almost like an entertainment slash collectible company. So, we're building out figurines, which our holders will have access to before anyone. So, think about your man cave. You'll be able to have access to some of the things that we're working on before the general public. So it's honestly, it's building out the world. So it's, revamping the website, building out the world, hiring on more people to help with character development, product development, distribution in terms of different markets around the world. Because, this project is based here in LA, but, we want to affect all the different regions of people that we work with. So, how do we throw a pop-up in Bangkok? You know what I'm saying? Or how do we work with a store in London to be able to do an Oracle's meetup? So those are the things that money will be going towards at the very beginning.
Question: which NFT standard are you going to use?
Standard meaning?
I mean, like the contract, like what are you going to use? I think the different ones are 721A, 55 or 35.
721A is like a Zuki contract.
Yeah, that's people
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
gas.
We're basing it on the Zuki. Honestly, we're going to use a 721A. We have our own tweaks that we're making as well. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, 721. Hey, we really like how the gas optimization was on that one.
Uh, Next question: what proportion of the collection has the special clothing traits?
10%. So 10% of all PFPs have the special collaborative clothing.
I think we have one final question from the community. Are those your Discord notifications? I'm pretty
I
sure.
told y'all, I'm sorry, I don't use this on my laptop, so yeah, those are. It's going crazy.
Cool. One of the tricks is what I do if it helps you going forward is like when I joined yours right now, I immediately turn off all the notifications. I only turn on your announcements, giveaways.
Mm,
That's really all I
I
want
love
to know. Is your announcements, what you're saying is up next, so I know to be aware of it, and your giveaways.
giveaways. Look at you, always trying to get something.
Yeah, man. The NFT. Don't act like you don't know. All
Nah,
right.
I got you.
No.
But I'm working with Cloud. I'm in my mind. I want to show special love to the Nifty fam, the Nuggets fam. I want to show love. So it's like, if there's a way for me to get some additional whitelist friends list spots over here, I would love to. I just got to check out my allocation and make sure it's all good to go.
Well, yeah,
I definitely want to.
that one's easy. I'll save you a lot of time. I'll save you marketing. You got 1,500 friends list. We'll just mint them all out. Like, you don't even gotta go around hustling too much. I make it real simple, real quick.
Look, 1,500 to the Nugs. Going
Yeah,
once, going twice.
going twice. We minted
I
out
love
real.
I
Nah,
love it.
we gonna link with you. I'm sure Cloud will take care of it. I'll probably jump in. I want to help out with certain things. See what kind of further collabs we can do. And yeah, man. I think that what you guys are doing is cool in the space. I'm interested to see when you guys are gonna launch, especially in this brutal market.
Yeah.
Especially price right now. Price is super important. But yeah, there's definitely other collabs too that could definitely help you out. And yeah, I think we touched on all of the community questions. I definitely am satisfied with what I was looking to find out about the project. So I'll just leave it to you, man. The stage is yours. About Oracles, anything you feel we didn't touch on?
For sure. I think we pretty much touched on everything, to be honest. Like, I just want people to know that, like, I'm in it. Like, I'm here. Like, this is a new business for me. This is something that I take pride in. My name is on the line. My reputation is on the line. I spent 10 years building my brand, so it's like I'm here. I'm leading this thing, and I'm ready to rock out. And I think I've built, like you were saying at the beginning, like I know you were being funny about the whole Illuminati thing, but it's I built quite a bit of connections, just generally, just being able to do what I do. Obviously Chris is the connection. He is the wires to the connection.
Good
Like
call.
he's not even like he's the outlet, so it's quite interesting, and I just really want this to be successful, and I feel like it can be. I think we created something unique. Our artwork is cool. We kind of stand out in terms of artwork, in my opinion. So yeah, appreciate the Nuggets gang. I'm here.
Yeah, we're gonna be in there. We're gonna be showing. Hopefully, everybody got in through the link. If not, I'm confident we can holler at John and get another link to get more nugs in. And we'll be
Absolutely.
in touch, man, to get an allocation of whitelist. I'm very interested. I'm sure Cloud is to get a considerable nugget holder base in the Oracles project.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've talked about a couple numbers, man. We're talking about maybe even like 100. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get the nugs up in there. So
Listen,
look.
I'm thinking about selling my PXN and aping into Oracles for some black samurais instead of some of these other samurais from PXN. Not financial advice. So if I'm doing that, we might have to push you, man, to like, I don't know, 50.
You feel me? That actually makes me it makes me very excited that you would even do something like that. But also it's like, yo, this is real, man. This is real. It's exciting though. It's real.
Yo, do you have an advisor yet, like helping you like navigate the space?
Uh People that I kind of go to for advice, not like anything official. Like he is the renowned Oracle advisor, but I have people I go to like, yo, how should I do this or that, but
Good for
no, nothing official. Well, what's up?
just since you're building, and I'm interested in seeing you succeed. I
Okay.
think you've been a friend to the Nugs. What I've found that the three most important things for any NFT project, right, besides coming up with something dope, unique, and adding value, obviously that comes first. But after that, right, if you want to have a successful project, you need three very, very crucial things, all three of them. Number one, a strong community manager to run the Discord and to help with like collabs and stuff like that. Number two, a strong advisor to help with collabs and marketing. And number three, you need a strong Twitter marketer, someone who's taking care of the Twitter and knows how to build it up. And I'm not talking about bot it. I'm talking about knows how to get the engagement necessary to get the brand and the NFT out there. Those three, you do well in those three, you do well as an NFT project.
Damn, I completely agree. Actually, out of all those things you named, the only thing we don't have is like that legit advisor. We got a strong community mod. His name is the Student. He's been holding it down since he's probably in there with you initial nugs actually. So shout out to my homie the Student. And then we have someone running our social media, and she actually works community for MetaMask, like officially works for MetaMask. So she's like super OG as well.
Well, I did it off the love because I want to see you guys do well. Soon I'll be charging people for that. Godspeed, Godspeed to you and the project. I think I touched on all of our community questions. Yep. Let me double check here. Okay, John. Any last words? We
Oh,
bring it
hey,
home.
look, come on over to the Discord, and we're very welcoming. Like I'm in there all the time, so come on over to the Discord. Let's chop it up. Let's play some Gartic games and get it popping.
Go Nuggets, renowned for the win. Renowned Nuggets.
Let's
I remember that. Renowned Nuggets. Let's go.
now.
Shout out to the Auracles Project. Shout out to John for coming by and telling us about this awesome project. Big shout out also to the homie Cloud for bringing John and the Auracles Project to us. And that's going to cap off another awesome AMA here in Nifty Nuggets.
Hey, appreciate y'all. Thank you.
If you like this AMA, reminder to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get access to our future AMAs. We also have a main YouTube channel where we are covering wider topics in the crypto and Web3 sphere. So if you're interested in any of that information, please make sure to find the Nifty Nuggets on YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter at Nuggets Nifty, and make sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We'll see you all next time.